Hello troops, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be conducting another update of what's actually going on in the Ukraine. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you for stopping by, and we'll wait until we get a few concurrent viewers in the chat. But in the meantime, troops, before we do get into it, if you could just drop a comment below, let me know who's here and where you're watching from. And we'll get straight into this in a few minutes. We'll just kick it off. But I just want to say hello to everyone. Hopefully you've had a wonderful day wherever you're watching from. And yeah, we're gonna get into this probably for about 2 hours or so. I would say we're gonna pencil in a good 2 hours on this. There's a few things happened today that I think needs to be addressed. And I'd like to share my opinion on that's for sure. But as always, in the first few moments of the video, of the stream, what really helps is if you smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and share the video as well. It really does help us get a good reach. I mean, yesterday, if you were here, you'll have seen that we had quite a few people on the live stream. And for that reason alone, I think it made it a lot more interactive for everyone watching, and it was really fun in that respect. So yeah, if you don't mind smashing that like button, and we'll get straight into this in a few seconds, guys. Right, I'm just checking out my metrics and stuff. So yeah, what we did yesterday is we changed the scenes. We'll be going into a live scene very soon, and we'll be getting into it. So hello guys, if you've just joined, how are you doing, troops? 200 viewers. Let's get those likes in, guys. If you were here yesterday, please drop me a comment and let me know if you were here. And if you're a returning person as well, let me also know that, guys. But we've got a couple of hours at least on this penciled in. Hey Regan, how you doing? Thank you, buddy. Regan says, yo, been a while, keep up the grind. Yeah, if it's the Regan that I know, and I only know one Regan, I hope you're doing well, buddy. And let me know if it's actually you. you know what I'm talking about. Gilo Wingler, I was here yesterday. Good to see you, buddy. And to all the members who's in the chat at the moment, if you could drop a comment so I could see who's in the chat member-wise, that would be fantastic, guys. But yeah, if we can smash that like, that would be fantastic. Tony Aguilar, some of the comments from yourself are actually flagging up, so just remember to keep the chat relatively decent. Okay, this is a decent channel. Okay, and yeah, troops, we're gonna get into this. So I've had a few messages referred to the last stream last night, and I've been reading all the comments, so I might not respond to all of the comments, but I certainly do read them all, or at least try to read a good amount of them. And the support for the Ukraine at the moment from everyone is overwhelming. You know, just the well wishes that I'm getting in the comments, wishing people of the Ukraine well. It's really positive to see, and I'm really glad that we can facilitate that on the channel as a beacon of positivity, because you know fine well, guys, how it works. If you're positive, and you can share that positivity, it kind of it breeds, doesn't it? So it's nice to see that there's a lot of positive people on the channel, and I really do encourage you to continue those comments, guys. Hey Eric Hi Killer, apologies if I pronounced your name wrong. You say, appreciate you from Michigan. Hey brother, thank you from the States. I appreciate you guys fantastically, and thank you very much for the donation, Eric. I appreciate that. But if you want to ask any questions, then just continue, guys. We've got Regan. Yeah, it's me. Got kidney stone, but fighting it off. Sorry to hear that, buddy. I hope you're still in the military. If you want to answer that, you don't have to. Hopefully you are doing really well. Good to see you, Regan, buddy. The Aqua Adventurer. Hey, how you doing, buddy? We've got another member in the chat. 165 likes already, troops. We've got 254 in the chat already. Wow, so that's even quicker than yesterday that we've reached that number. So I think there's enough people here at the moment to start getting into this. And Carlos Cruz, hey, you were here yesterday as well, buddy. Thank you. And you haven't got a question pertaining to that. If you're going to donate, Carlos, make sure you get a question in there as well, so we can, it gives you more bang for your buck, really. But thanks for that, brother. Right, let's get into this. Actually, one more thing. If we've got any veterans in the chat, if we've got any current serving military personnel, former serving military personnel, I don't care where you've served, don't care what country you pertain to, if you're a veteran or you have served, I just want to say thank you for your service. I appreciate you guys on a different level. I'm not talking on a political level, I'm talking on a human level. I understand the sacrifices that servicemen and women go through, whether you've been to war or not, whether you've done much or you haven't done much. If you signed on the dotted line, you've made a commitment to your country and to your people of your country. So thank you for your service, and you guys especially are most welcome here. So yeah, just want to put some love in the chat for you guys. You know how it is with me, guys. I'm a former Royal Marine. I can be biased towards my own band of brothers, but I respect all militaries, regardless of where you're from, and regardless of what side as well, because I understand that it's politics that drives most of this in the first place. Okay, the person behind the politics doesn't necessarily believe in it. Okay, they're just there for the friends left and right of them. Hey, Dr. Detroit, thank you, buddy, and he says thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your kind comment and donation, buddy. I really appreciate that. Regan says, yeah, I'm just been on medical chits, living the life. Nothing wrong with a medical chit, buddy. What else have we got in the chat? Hey, we got Christian Barragan. Thank you, buddy. You say hello from Washington State. What's your take on Putin ordering his people to heighten their readiness for nuclear deterrence? Well, actually, that's a very, very good question, and thanks for asking that. And my initial take on it was, when I first heard about it, it was actually about 20 minutes ago when I was driving back from the gym, and I was reading and slash watching something, and that was mentioned, and I almost thought, no, surely not this early anyway. But when I looked into it a bit more, it was like, wow, this is from quite a credible news source. So I don't know if it's designed to frighten the people. It certainly would frighten people to a massive extent. It scared me. It's like, wow, this has took a turn real quick. And if Putin has ordered his people to heighten their readiness for nuclear deterrence, I guess what he means by that, we have to take it by exactly what you've said. It's for nuclear deterrence. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's prepared to use warheads first. What it says is that Russia might actually be at risk of a nuclear strike. That's the way I'm taking it. So it's a defensive statement other than an offensive one, if that makes sense. But you don't know how to take these things. My question back to you guys is, and let's generate the conversation again. Apologies, I've got a runny nose. My question to you guys is, what do you think about that? What do you think about the nuclear deterrence and Putin ordering his people to heighten their readiness for it? Let me know in the comments, guys, because it'd be good to hear. Good question, Chris. Christian, thank you, buddy. Lord of the Caves says, what was the reason for Russia invasion? That's a massive, massive question. We could go on all night. It would literally just be opinions. But it comes down to political leaders getting too big for the boots, I think. And that's a very, very simplified version of my opinion. But yeah, I guess you'll find an answer of the people in the comments, Lord of the Caves. But thanks for that donation, buddy. I appreciate it greatly. Guys, I'm instead of me harping on about it, I'll say it right now. I greatly appreciate everyone's questions. Okay, so let's get that out of the way first. I just want to say thank you in advance. So let's get that out of the way. Thank you, guys. Okay, but Darth Cynical says, Nashville here, love the channel. Do you feel the people of Ukraine can mount a long-lasting defense with support? Yes, I do. I certainly do think that the people of Ukraine can mount a long-lasting defence with support. I think if you just have to compare it with Afghanistan, and that, yes, they had various different elements of support, but it was very much dysfractured. It was sporadic support. It was all over the place. The leadership in Afghanistan was all over the place. Okay, it was splattered everywhere, and it wasn't really effective, but they were effective in enduring the 20 years and more so over the generations of war. So the Ukrainians are a formidable military anywhere, with support from formidable militaries around the globe, economically, militarily, information, teaching, all of that kind of stuff. Yes, I think the people of Ukraine can mount a long-lasting defence. That's a really good question, that, and I think it's testament to the character of the people. We only have to look at the politicians who are staying behind and wanting to fight there. We've got the Klitschko brothers, multi-millionaires staying behind, arming themselves. So that's testament to the type of person the Ukrainian human looks like. All right, they're a tough individual, they're tough human beings, and they're not going to be pushed over, so to speak. So if you arm them and give them support, yeah, I think it's going to be a long, horrible, hard fight for Russia. I don't care how hard Russia's military is. It's going to be tough for them no matter what. Thank you for that. Right, next question. Sorry, guys, just the usual scrolling back and forth. Thank you, Darth. D. Smith, hey, thank you for the kind donation, brother. Your question, you say, Putin has taken Chernobyl. Now he is threatening nuclear strikes. Do you believe it is possible that Putin would place a nuke in Chernobyl to cover any retreat they may have if NATO were to get involved? Well, I guess the whole thing with Chernobyl is I mean, if you think about the area itself, it's already a product of nuclear disaster. All right, so it's already a place that's extremely inhabitable in many, many ways. People aren't going to go there anytime soon. There's not going to be a lot of people there other than Russians who've utilized that area to go in quick, hard, and fast. So if he wanted to show intent, he could probably drop something in that region with very little collateral damage on human life and human cost. But its effect would be drastic. It would let people know that, hey, I'm in business, even if it's in that area. So I think of all of the places that anything's going to get dropped, or if it's going to get dropped, I think it could be the Chernobyl disaster area. That's a really good point that you make, D. Smith. But it also stops the Russians from utilizing that ground that they've came through, i.e. the proven route, as we say in the military, and utilising that to get the hell out there themselves. So what they are doing is sealing their own fate by doing that and saying, hey, regardless of what happens, you're staying here, you're not going back via that route. That's a good thing. I wonder if that actually materialises, D. Smith. I think that's a possibility. If anywhere in the Ukrainian region that sort of thing were to happen, I believe it could be that area, unless we've got anything else. But we are going to go on the live updates very, very soon on the channel in the next 5 minutes or so, and we'll see what the live news updates have got to say about that, because there has been quite a few loud explosions going on today, and that's the reason why I wanted to come on tonight to cover that. This map, and I'll quickly show you the map before we get into it. This map here has a lot more explosion annotations on it than it did yesterday, which for me is quite symbolic of how much it's escalated in the course of 24 hours from us doing it next time. But we'll get onto that within the next 5 minutes or so, guys, and we'll start talking about that. So if you want to get your questions ready about why that might have escalated as quick as it has, and get your questions ready, dudes. Good question, that. So Cass187 says, love from Florida. Love back, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank you, buddy. Michael Smith says, hello from Germany. What do you think about Germany's new military budget? I don't know much about the new military budget in Germany, but I'd like to think that they've increased it due to the due to the situation ongoing in Europe. But would it be too late to increase the budget militarily? Would that increase in budget even do anything right now? I mean, it would give initial funds to be able to get response measures out with this, but it's not going to improve the military greatly. And yeah, I think the whole situation with Germany and Russia at the moment regards sanctions and gas and stuff. That's a funny situation to be in. Whose side is Germany going to truly be on when it comes down to the crunch? I don't know. It's going to be a tough one to measure that. What do you guys think? Thank you for that, Michael Smith. I appreciate it. Hey, Robert Dodd, welcome to Dit Members Club. It's good to see some more members joining the club, guys. If you want to join, just like Robert Dodd has, become part of the team, so to speak, then the link is actually in the description, or it's in the live chat. Just click on that or press the join button. Welcome, Robert Dodd. I look forward to speaking to you as an official member, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dope Sauce Benevolence, that is one cool name. It says, Ukraine accepting foreign volunteers, should I go? Well, actually, let's talk about this foreign volunteer thing, because I was watching I was actually watching a video on YouTube today, all right, and I seen someone comment that, so I started looking into it, and you would be shocked, all right. I know we support this, but you'd be shocked at just how much support there is from foreign nationals who actually want to go. Most of them haven't had any military experience, all right, who are more than happy to go and support this. But if that happens, that's going to change the entire dynamic of war, if that can happen. I mean, we've seen similar things happen in the Middle East, and it was frowned upon, remember? We'll not get too in-depth on that on this live stream, but I'll actually talk about that in another one. We'll do an update on the Middle East. But we actually saw people volunteering, from very good jobs in London, in New York, and various regions, going out and helping certain friendly groups, should I say, in the Middle East. And they came back, they were criticised for it, So this has actually got a very different kind of feeling about it. Everyone's quite supportive of that. I believe British government's quite supportive of that idea, or at least I think that's the case from a news article I was watching. But yeah, am I for it? I'm for it. However, I would like to see more politicians not just saying they would agree to foreign volunteer support. I would like to see themselves volunteering to support, so that it makes it seem a lot better that our guys and girls who are volunteering for this, the average Joe, is not just supported through words, but they're supported through action as well. And I think that deserves a like, guys. So before we get any further, if you don't mind, because it really does help the channel, smashing that like button for me. It costs nothing and it takes 2 seconds to do. That's a great question, Dope Sauce. Thank you for that, buddy. Jasky, welcome to Dit Members Club, brother. I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon as a member, my friend. Piano Man 18, message retracted, £1. Thank you for the donation, brother. But if you want to put your question back in, mate, I would like to speak to you. James and Hope, thank you, buddy. You say, I fear Mr. Pudding is positioning his troops for use of thermobaric missiles of the city of Kiev. Well, actually, there's been talks of those loud explosions and those thermo-type bombs being utilised, and they actually sound really, really horrible in nature. Let's face it, guys, they're not nice in terms of what they do. The bombs are not nice anyway, but in terms of them, you're literally suffocating the person who they're aimed at. That's got to be against the Geneva Convention, hasn't it, really? But thank you for that, brother. I appreciate it. Tony Watson, thank you for the 79 pence. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. All right, what else questions have I missed? Lord of the Caves, thank you, brother. And you say, did you happen to see the video showing a Russian armoured vehicle going out of its way to run over a Ukrainian driving along the road? I did see that. We'll probably see that on this, but I don't want to put anything too harmful on the channel. And yeah, I mean, that's scary. We're not just dealing with people who want to cause hurt and pain. We're dealing with people who's going out of the way to do this. That's a different type of soldier. I've always said, if you join the military wanting to hurt innocent people, then you've joined the wrong job. Okay, you need to be in something else, because the military shouldn't be for that. It didn't stand for that. It certainly didn't stand for that. The military that I joined, and the people that I served with, and the people, the counterparts that I worked alongside in America, in Europe, didn't stand for it either. So it's a very, very select few that spoil it for the many, and it's a bloody shame, to be quite honest, guys. But yeah, I did see that Lord of the Caves, and thank you for your kind donation, my friend. I appreciate that very, very much. It's 26 past 11, so in about 3 or 4 minutes, half past, we'll get into the live update map, buddy. Let's go. Cars 187. Thank you, brother. And you say, on my next paycheck, I'm going to join your members. Hey, don't sweat about it, brother. Please don't sweat about it. Just enjoy yourself on the channel, my friend. That's all it's about. And Ed Smeeden, hey, welcome to the members club, my friend. I appreciate that, brother. And I look forward to chatting to you in the future in the comment section as a member. Right then, troops. So let's get into this. Another couple of minutes. Live update maps, because there's some stuff coming in thick and fast. 467 likes already and 759 concurrent viewers. Wow, troops! If you guys can get the 500 likes, I'd appreciate that. Just hit that like button. I hate mentioning the like button. I know when I'm watching these videos, it normally gets me a little bit, oh man, wish you'd shut up about the like button, but it's actually one of the most instrumental things you can do in helping my channel grow. You'd be very surprised at just how much it helps. It's pretty much everything. The reason why channels succeed is down to you hitting that like button, actually. So yeah, I don't want to mention it too much. In fact, I'll do it this way. I'll do it every 15 minutes, so we put a time on it. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. If you've just joined the channel, please hit that subscribe button. But let's just get into the next part of the stream. Okay, here we go. MS Scott, how you doing, buddy? Spoke to you yesterday, actually. He says, have you seen the Ukrainian drone strike? No, but I think we're gonna be getting into that now, actually. Hey, Chunky Hunky, I was speaking about you today, actually, to my dad, because we were having a serious talk on here, and then Chunky Hunky, the funniest name on YouTube, pops in with the kind donation, and it really made me laugh. And he was actually watching the stream at the same time, and he laughed because he's got a similar sense of humour to me. So thank you for bringing a bit of humour to something that actually needs it, really. Chunky Hunky says, I heard reports that a Chechen battalion defected and is fighting for Ukraine. Seriously? If that's the case, that just shows you how problematic certain regions are. All right, united we stand, guys. United we stand. Thank you for that. Lord of the Caves, hey, welcome to the members club, buddy. And thank you earlier for your comment. I really appreciate that. I look forward to speaking to you soon in the comment section. Hey, we've got a legend in the chat, actually. Original Human, how are you doing, brother? And how are you doing in America on your fantastic trip in that school bus of yours? Appreciate the support. Guys, if you do know Original Human. If you don't, go check him out. He is literally the reason I started this YouTube venture. So, big shout out to Original Human, man. He is a legend and a former Royal Marines commando, so he's hard as nails by default. Hey, Lee Fansha, thanks for the donation. You didn't put a question on that, buddy. Make sure you get your questions in on there. But yeah, so I'm going to look at this map here again. We started in the east yesterday. The reason I'm focusing on the east is because there seems to be quite a bit of activity going on there. A lot of activity, actually. And yeah, that's actually extended out that zone from yesterday. It was probably half the size, I believe. What we got here, so 4 hours ago, The settlements of Shastya, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, and Stancia have been occupied and almost destroyed. The situation is on the verge of humanitarian catastrophe. What? The head of the regional state administration has meant, wow. Video of the TB2 strike against Russian Buk missile system. Right, let's have a look at what's going on here. Right, I need to watch this. So this is from Conflict News. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense released footage of the successful TB2 strike. Whoa. What? Ukrainian Ministry of Defense released footage of the successful strike. So, right, so that's a bit of success from Ukraine then. 5 hours ago, Grad launches towards Mariupol this evening and filmed by Russian propagandist War Gonzo. Russian troops are working to encircle the city tonight. Where's that at? Oh, that's in the south near the port. Right, is there a port near there? Because there was talks of an amphibious landing, wasn't there? That is scary. Let's have a look at this. So Grad launches that. So what have we got here? I can't believe we're actually watching this stuff, man. We're not. This is not of 10 years ago what we're reacting to. This is stuff that we're actually following live. This region is. I mean, imagine all the people who live there. Jeez, guys. Right, I'm just going to catch up on a few of your questions, troops. The Dean says, great content as always, mate. Keep it coming. Well, hey, thank you very much for the support, the Dean. I really do appreciate your comments. And as always, I appreciate the fact that you guys are interacting on the channel. It truly is a pleasure to chill with you guys, to hang out with you guys, and do something more serious, okay? As you can tell, I do a little bit of gaming on the channel. I do a bit of reactions. I do my own vlogs and boxing and stuff, but this is kind of a bit of a passion of mine, okay? I'm in the office at the moment, and I'd be doing this anyway, so the fact that I can do this alongside you guys and learn from you as well. Most of the stuff that I actually I gain my knowledge from, it comes from you guys. You are the main source of this. So we've got over 900 people in the chat now. You 900 people are the ones that give me all of this extra information. So thank you guys for giving me the ability to put content out here, because it's you effectively who creates it with me. Hey Joe Moore, welcome to the Gendit Members Club, brother, and I look forward to speaking to you in the comments, guys, as a member. Thank you for that. Basha, thank you for the donation, brother. Make sure you put a comment on there so we can answer the comments. Jonky Honky says, no matter how serious the situation, you always have to find a way to have a laugh. Hey Chonky Honky, that's so true. It's so true, and testament to the military as well. You'd be actually surprised at just how proactively happy military individuals can be, because, you know, they have to be. You have to make do with a bad situation, you know. But yeah, guys, it's one of those. But thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Andrew W says we need to stop buying Russian oil. Yeah, that's going to be harder than you'd imagine. We need Elon Musk to up production of his electric car fleet, but even that will have to use oil in some way, shape, or form to be able to get the production of these things coming our way. You know, the manufacturing, unless we're always going to use that until it's no more. You know, so the oil situation's a problematic one in my opinion, and it's a problematic one for a few main reasons. One of them is Russia exports a lot of fuel, all right, be it gas or whatever, a lot, guys, to certain countries that need it, quite frankly. Otherwise, the infrastructure of that country doesn't work in the way it should. So what happens as a result, that country becomes reliant on a country, irrespective of whether they like that country or not. And that's the problem that we're seeing, all right? I think Germany's tied up for that very reason at the moment, guys. Yeah, and we're going to see a lot more of that. This is where politics gets ugly, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, good statement, Andrew W. I don't know what we'd do. What would we do if we did stop buying Russian oil? What would happen as a result, do you think? That's my question to you guys. Let's see if we can get some answers for that. Matthew, thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate that. Hey, Ricky Shelton, welcome to the Gendit Members Club, and thank you for that, buddy. And I look forward to speaking to you in the chat and in the comment section of future videos as a member. I appreciate that, brother. Hey, Old Man Jenkins, thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Old Man Jenkins says, after getting out of the military after 9 years as a paratrooper, I was done with it all. And now some soldiers receiving note of their respective units to be ready for the worst. FML. You know something? That first and foremost, thank you for your service, brother. I'm guessing because it's Euros paratrooper. I don't know if you were a British paratrooper or a paratrooper in a different military, but I'll just talk about the British paratroopers because, like the Marines are similar no matter where you come from, okay? We've got the same type of ethos. Marines will be Marines, paras will be paras. It's just the way they're bred, regardless of what country. And I've got a lot of friends who are paratroopers, and they're some of the best soldiers I've ever worked with. You know, to chuck yourself out of a plane, you've got to be a certain type of character, a steely, determined one. So I just want to thank you for your service, my friend. I truly mean that as well. I've got a lot of respect for paratroopers. But yeah, I was wondering about this myself because I haven't been out of the military that long. And because I've moved address, I believe the military's probably got my old address. I have wondered if I'd actually get called up to this if Britain got involved. I'd imagine that I would, being a former trained, fully trained rank. But it is a scary one now that I'm out of the military. I've got a child, a family, relatively comfortable life, and different goals and things like that. But I think if the time come where life was at threat, then yeah, I'd gladly put my uniform back on and I'd gladly wear this green lid again, but only if I could be part of this, because this is the brotherhood that I belong to. That's the brotherhood that I would like to be part of again. Original Human says Putin thinks he's hard, but I bet he couldn't do a couple of camp circuits after a tough baptism. Sorry guys, private joke here. Oh, right, I'm just gonna. This is a private joke here for Original Humans. So, just Putin thinks he's hard, but could he march on camp post violent entry, or would his feet crumble? Can you remember that? Your feet were hurting so bad, and you had to march properly, and you were literally walking like a mishmash man. It was absolutely horrendous. Camp circuits, man. Post rope climbs. Not nice. Not nice at all. Hey, I'm happy that you're here, Original Human, man. I'm really happy that you're here, buddy. Chilo Wingler. Member for 7 months. Wow, thank you for your long service. We need it. Well, you've actually got a long service badge, haven't you? The badge changes colour, actually. So he says, or she says, or whoever says, you're my favourite YouTuber. Your content is fascinating. You're always an awesome dude. Thank you for your service. I'm glad the US and UK are close allies. Well, first of all, thank you for that wonderful comment. I'd like to reiterate that I'm nothing special. I will never state that I'm anything special. I passed a special course, a hard course, but it doesn't necessarily make me a special individual. Yes, I passed a hard course, but I'm not a super soldier. I'm not a Rambo. I don't pretend to be. There's a lot more individuals out there done a lot more than me in the military, so I can't be arrogant and insulting to pretend otherwise, because it's insulting to those who have done an awful lot in the military. Yes, I passed a hard course, and that's where I draw the line with it. But thank you and appreciate your support as a member, brother. I appreciate that. Hey, Chunky Hunky, the comedian, is welcome to the members club, brother. I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. I'll never forget that name, that's for sure. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just catch up on a few more of these comments, guys, and then we're going to go back onto the live map very, very soon. It's coming up 1:45 actually, so we've got a few bits of admin stuff to get cracked. Right then, so actually the next question is from Chonky Honky. They say, I'm not surprised at all. It's absurd how many times I've laughed after almost getting blown up. Well, yeah. Hey, well, obviously you've... thank you for your service then, buddy. I'm presuming that you're a former or current serving military personnel in the United States. And if that is the case, thank you for your service, brother. LJ Gammon says, do you watch Lunkus TV and Matt Tardios podcast called Speak the Truth? They're covering a lot of really good info about the war. I don't, and I haven't, but I might have to have a look into that actually, buddy, because I'm all about military and looking into that kind of stuff. For me, it's fascinating. It's my passion. It's something that I'm doomed to speak about for the rest of my life, simply because I did a bit of service. I'm compelled to speak now on the military. But yeah, I'm going to look into that. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. KW says, keep it up. Hey, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Eric Wright, Ukraine turned this into a cost war, blowing up tracks, oil tanks, setting up choke points, slowing down means of travel for Russia. What are your thoughts? Ukraine. So let me digest that question for a second. Ukraine turned this into a cost war, blowing up tracks, oil tanks, setting up choke points, slowing means of travel for Russia. What are your thoughts? So I'm going to just answer it off the top of my head. I might be right, I might be wrong, but this is my thoughts. One, it's good practice to slow the enemy down, regardless of what type of war it is. They're doing what they should be doing, and that's slowing the enemy down. Now, if they know that they're going to be fighting a force that can overwhelm them, they've got to do things that can slow that overwhelming force down and prohibit that. And if that means utilizing some of their own infrastructure and destroying it as a result, then that's exactly what they've got to do. All right. And it might seem, not very cost effective to do that in the long run, but in the short term, it's going to protect their society from being overrun, so to speak. So yeah, it's everything that they're doing in that respect is things that I would have expected them to do anyway, quite frankly. And that's what we see, and we've seen it in World War II. Many of these villages and main prominent towns were destroyed mainly by the people, the military who was protecting it, to stop and hinder the progress of the enemy. It's just the cost of war at the end of the day. But it's a really good question, that, Eric. Thank you. James in Hope says, definitely check out Speak the Truth channel. I will have a look at that, actually, James. Thank you. I appreciate your donations as well, brother. I appreciate that. We've got a few more to catch up on. MS Scott says, as the son of a raider, if Ukraine blows up and sends the raiders and Royal Marines, we'd be in Moscow by Tuesday. Yeah, well, without saying too much, there's always contingents of both of those organisations ready to go anywhere. And as the son of a raider, so wow, my first second in command of Delta Company, who I was originally first part of at 40 Commando, was actually a US Marine raider, and he was a hard son of a bitch, actually. Real hard son of a bitch. Before we go any further, guys, it's 1:45 as promised. A little bit of admin and stuff. We've got 992 wonderful concurrent viewers at the moment in the chat. If you don't mind smashing that like button for me, it literally costs you nothing, and it really helps the channel reach more people and gets more traction and creates a better dynamic and a more interactive community. So if you could do one thing for me now before we go back onto the live map, if you could smash that like button, it would mean the world to me. We're at 874 likes at the moment. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes before we do the next bit of admin in 15 minutes time. That would be absolutely smashing, guys. I think it is possible to be able to get 1,000 likes probably in the next couple of seconds, actually. So if we can do that, then thank you guys. But administration done. We've got a few more questions coming through. Curtis Reynolds says, wow, thank you for that massive donation. Thank you, Curtis. That's really humbling, man. Thank you. He says that no one wants to see war. As a veteran myself, I know I don't want to see it. But if Putin wants it, the rest of us stand ready to give it back to him. God bless our Ukrainian brothers in arms. I'll second that. Here. I'll second that. Thank you for your service, Curtis, first and foremost. And I agree with that statement, actually. No one wants to see war. We see that a lot with military guys and girls. Never really wanted war. It's not something you want. It's the last chance saloon. The military's capable of doing some beautiful, wonderful things, and they do beautiful and wonderful things 99% of the time. And that 1%, which people think is the main reason to have a military, is actually, it's not, guys. War should be, it's a horrible reality for a lot of guys in Ukraine right now, but I can guarantee not one of them want it. But they'll fight, and they'll fight to the end. It's something that you have to be in the military to understand fully. I'm sure Curtis would agree with that, or Original Human, if he's still in the comments. Sorry guys, I just need to scroll back up to some of these questions. Thank you, Curtis. That was a nice comment, my friend. Rick Shelton says, thanks for doing these. Helps keep us informed. Thank you. You guys are keeping me informed. Most of the comments that you give is actually information to me. I can merely comment on them. So believe it or not, a lot of the information is coming from you guys. So yeah, thanks to the community who's on this channel right now. You know, you guys are the reason who that this information is getting passed around. So thank you. Michael Smith, hey, welcome to Gendit Members Club, brother, or sister, or whatever. I apologise if I get things wrong. But yeah, I look forward to speaking to you in the comments, my friend. True Code says, are leaders smart enough not to go nuclear? I don't think it's a matter of smart. I think it's a matter of, are they ballsy enough? They'll go down in history, that's for sure, for the good reasons or bad reasons. If there's enough money involved to financially set them up, then I don't think it really matters to them whether or not it's about smartness. I think it's gone past that. What do you guys think? That's a good question, that, actually. Old Man Jenkins, hey, how are you doing again? Old Man Jenkins says, I served in the German Armed Forces, and a new policy is that you have to do 6 years of service in the reserves. Worst case, I put my uniform back on and hopefully have all my buddies I served and ate shit with. Wow. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying there, because if I was to be called back into service for the escalating things that's happening in the region of Ukraine and Russia, I too would like to be with the people that I originally served with. I would like to be back with them individuals, because them are the people that I trust with my life. So I'd really like to believe that I would go back at least with my own people, which is the Royal Marines Commandos. Whether that happens or not is another escalation that I guess we'll find out in these updates, guys. That would be really interesting if I provided you updates, but it looked like it was getting closer for me to be involved. Yeah, hopefully not, guys, but you never know the way the world is at the moment. Thank you for that, buddy. I appreciate your service. Dope Saws Benevolence says, what would happen if Ukraine attacked in Russia? That actually hasn't been mentioned before. You've just hit onto something there. In fact, let's get some questions. Let's get some answers. All right, we've got a lot of questions here. Let's get some answers to that in the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What would happen if Ukraine attacked Russia? Like in Russia is what I'm guessing you're saying. So Ukraine's been invaded by Russia. What would happen if the opposite happened? I mean, could that even happen? Is that something that could happen? I don't think militarily it's even possible for the Ukrainians to do at this moment in time. I know they'll have other forces elsewhere in the world potentially doing other stuff, but is that even militarily possible at this moment in time for them to do such a thing? I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be, and I don't know what they'd get from that. All right? That's a good question. That's going to get me thinking. Remind me about that question later. I'm going to ponder on that for a little bit. The sports franchiser says, you seen the Russian prisoner of war vid saying they got lied to? No, I haven't, mate. I haven't, but I've heard similar stories of where the Russians are stating the same thing as well, that, hey, the state media was telling a very different story, portraying a very different narrative indeed, which is interesting to say the least. Old Man Jenkins, hey, welcome to the Gendit Members Club, my friend, and I definitely look forward to seeing your face here again, brother, and welcome to the channel, my friend. I appreciate your support. Guys, if you are a member, actually, if I'm missing your comments on here, because we're obviously we're answering the super chats, what I'm going to start doing is posting questions to members only, and that's a place where we can actually have an open debate. So that's where it's going to be your place to interact with me and each other. So I think I'll start that after this stream, to be fair. I'll post a question on there. Let's have a debate about it. Let's have a chat about it. It'll be via the community tab. So your membership there will be activated, so to speak. So we'll have a catch up after this via a post on the community tab, actually. I look forward to speaking to you there, guys. Right then, we've got a few more questions to get through that I've actually, I need to scroll back for, so forgive me a second, guys. Right, what have we got? Freedom Gunner, thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate that, my friend. What else have we got? Freedom Gunner again says, do you know British Defence Minister just authorised British citizens to join the newly established Ukraine Foreign Legion Volunteer Force and fight alongside Ukrainians? That's what I believe I saw. If that is the case, that's both great and scary. That's both great and scary. What do you guys think of that? Would you back that British Defence Minister's statement? Do you think it's justified? Or would you like to see that British Defence Minister send members of their family first? It might be interesting. We might actually need to support Ukraine if if Britain is at threat. This moment in time, it's indirectly at threat, because if we let this happen morally, we can let the Russians get away with a lot more than what they're getting away with now. So thank you for that. That's a good question statement. Daniel says, hey, and thank you for your donation, says, infographic show on YouTube has a what a nuclear war with the US and Russia. Pay attention to the dates given in the first 5 seconds. Also, thank you for pinning my comment on the A10 Warthog video. Awesome content you have. Hey, Daniel, no problem. And yeah, I appreciate if it's a good comment on the video, I will pin it. So yeah, get commenting on the videos, and if yours meets the grade, it meets the grade. Yours obviously did. Infographic Show is a great channel. I like Infographic Show, but what's so pertinent about those 5 seconds, the first 5 seconds of dates, Daniel? Let me know in the comments, buddy. I would like to know your thoughts on that, because I haven't seen that video, I don't think. Eric, hey, welcome to the Gendit Members Club, my friend. I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon in the chat and the community tab. Right, okay, I've missed a few. I think I might have missed a few chats here. Victor Garul, hey, nice to see you again, Victor. How are you doing, my friend? He says, hope all is well, bud. Have a great evening. You too, my friend. It's good to see you here, man. Honestly, I like to see the regulars back and forth. Hey, I really appreciate you guys coming back. Kingdry13 says, the only way I see Ukrainian military actions is Russia is air and spec op raids on military installations. Yeah, and the thing is, the Russians have, on paper, the better air force at the moment in terms of strength and numbers and all of that. So the air thing's a very, very hard one. I actually don't think they'll beat them in the air. I think they'll beat them from the ground up, with ground-to-air missiles and stuff like that. But again, they have to be technologically more advanced to be able to do that. So has Russia learned their lesson from Afghanistan? I don't know. It would be interesting to find out how that's going to materialize very, very soon. But they've always been weak in the air from the ground, the Russians. Very, very strong in the air with air, but very, very weak from ground. Trey McCollister says, I knew it, Putin is backed in a corner, so don't think the nuclear option is off the table. I definitely don't think the nuclear option is off the table. I do think it could be actioned. If we see that happen, it's going to be bad for everyone in the planet, unless you've got a nuclear bunker somewhere. Alex Wallen, hey, thank you for that. And you say, happy to see that your channel has come a long way since the beginning of the pandemic. Have you heard about the 5,000 AT4s being sent from Sweden? No. All-terrain vehicles, I'm guessing that stands for. 5,000. Sweden is so nice, man. I say nice in the Swedish military. They've got good morals. If they see something wrong, they're going to help out. And let's face it, with the current situation in the Ukraine, Sweden has a direct risk. They're at direct risk as well, so they're giving them away, and they could really probably utilize them themselves in that respect, guys. You know, thank you for that, Alex. Great statement there. Ricky Cade, hey, welcome to the Gendit Members Club, my friend. I look forward to speaking to you in the comments and some of the community posts that we're going to start doing every other day. I appreciate that, brother. What else have we got? And Zach Hansen as well, welcome to the Gendit Members Club, my friend. I look forward to speaking to you too, as well as Keith Dillard. Wow, we're getting the members coming in thick and fast tonight, guys. So that link is obviously working. That's in the chat at the moment. If you guys want to press that link and join, you're more than welcome. You're certainly not obliged. But right, we've managed to get through them at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to get back into this live map. But before we get started, we're talking about this again, and the certain different news elements that are pertaining to this live UA map. It's midnight actually here now, so that 15 minutes has passed pretty quick. So a little bit of admin before we get into this, guys. If you don't mind smashing that like button, all right, it's really, really important. Subscribing to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. If you want to become a member, it's really easy to do. You just need to press the join button. If you see the red button to join, or just press the link in the description, okay? And other than that, if you want to do anything else, you're more than welcome to follow myself on social media. I have got other channels as well, and you can see all of those other channels in the About section. Some really good content coming your way on those other channels. I'm going to start a boxing podcast very, very soon, and I'm going to be following my journey via video and other means of me hopefully actually starting a YouTube boxing career. First fight might actually be August this year, so follow that if you want to stay up to date on current boxing news, podcasts, tuition, boxing coaching, all of that type of stuff, and obviously my boxing journey. The links are in the description for all of those channels, or if you just go onto the About section, you'll find it, guys. But anyway, all of that being done, we've got 1,171 likes and 978 concurrent viewers in the chat. First and foremost, guys, thanks for being here. Thank you for being here, every single one of you guys, okay? Right then, what have we got? So I'm going to refresh this actually. 22 minutes ago, missiles launched from Moscow after midnight, right? Let's have a look at this. Oh, that's quite north. That's Belarus. hang on. Missiles have been launched from there. Wow, so missiles have been launched. Is that in Belarus? It is. Wow, so they're using Belarus as a staging area to launch attacks. I can't believe that. Wow. Right, let's see if we can see this. More missiles launched from Moscow. I didn't know they were launching missiles from there. Where are they hitting though?
Полетело
Let's
еще.
watch this.
Полетело. Летает. Это уже какая? 4-я? 3-ю, 1-ю, сори, пропустили. Ничего себе. Ну, опять же, как вы думаете, куда она летит? Идет. Тело взлетает. Это уже какая? 4-я? 3-ю.
This is a normal guy watching this take place. Just I tried to hit on to this yesterday about how that must feel. Just imagine right now, wherever you're sitting and looking outside and then seeing missiles being launched. Think about that for a second, guys. To me, it's crazy. It's crazy that we are in that situation in life. There's Ukrainians. I mean, what's the measurements from this? We did it yesterday, roughly from where I live. Let's have a look here. Roughly, like where those missiles were launched. We're talking roughly. We'll do a rough. About 2,000 kilometers. We're talking about 2,000 kilometers from where I'm from. That's the reality of this. We need to be really honest with ourselves and think, you know something, this is really, really bad. Really bad for Europe. Ooh, I wasn't meant to go on to that, but can you see that in America? I've just went to the east coast of America there. It says the UN Security Council calls rare emergency meeting of the UN General Assembly. Let's have a look at this. What's going on there? UN Secretary. Right, so we haven't got any comments on that. Have we got any comments? No, we just got an advert of Alina from Coventry sent you her videos. What's that? These adverts, man. Little delve into my search history there. Right, okay. I want to have a look at this. Some of these regions here. What's going on here? In Moscow. Russian Ministry of Defense admits casualties, including fatalities, in war against Ukraine. Right, how do I get rid of this stupid advert? Okay. Right, so we've got a few. Oh, we've actually got a few more chats coming in here. John says, could Ukraine be a diversion for China to grab Taiwan? That's a fantastic. I'm glad you've mentioned that, because this is what I've been telling people. And we need to pay very, very, very much close attention to what's going on in Taiwan at the moment, because it's getting overlooked as a result of what's going on in the Ukraine. We can't take nothing away from the Ukraine. However, let's not overlook what's going on with Taiwan and China at the moment, because if the Ukraine isn't a reason to start World War III, then Taiwan is definitely a potential, or has more potential than you think. I need to cover that. Guys, what I'm going to do probably is tomorrow during the day. I started this at about 11 o'clock at night, UK time. During the day, I might cover Taiwan tomorrow in a similar fashion during the daytime. I appreciate there might be a lot of people at work and stuff like that, but if you can tune into that, that would be fantastic. I think I might cover Taiwan, because what it's going to do is give a little bit more context of actually what could be happening in Ukraine. And is Russia and China capitalizing on each other's in military problems, so to speak? Could China capitalize on this? China is in Russia's back pocket as well. They're in each other's pockets, to be fair, and they do support each other. So it's interesting to see how they're going to back each other with this. If China does take advantage of Taiwan in that respect, then I think that's a bit of a low blow. It's a bit of a low blow. The timing of it is going to be really cruel, to be honest with you. So, John, that's a great question, man. And yeah, hopefully we can answer some more comments in the chat with regards to that. But thank you for that. We're going to get a few more questions answered. Apologies if I've missed a few of your questions, guys. I'm just going to play catch up now. Thank you, John, for that. I've just seen a question from Victor Garul again. Thank you, buddy. What does Victor say? Victor says, in your opinion, what's the reason for the attack? That's right. Let me try and digest this question a little bit. What's in my opinion? So I'm not going to try and. What's my opinion? What's the reason for the attack? In my opinion. I think, and it's okay to be wrong on this, I think that Putin has had an agenda, almost a fantasy of getting traction with regards, almost like a reinstatement of the old Soviet Union. I think that's his dream, to have something similar in place, something as powerful as it was back then in place. And I don't think he can get over it. It's almost a bit of a guilty pleasure of his, and almost a hidden desire. I think he's not going to stop until he has that. And now he's getting later on in life and he's nowhere near accomplishing that. I think he's just went, right, it's now or never. It's time to be remembered in history as either the good guy or the bad guy. And if he can't have the good guy, he's going to go for the bad guy route. And that's what I think. It comes down to, he's got the ability to do it. He's got the power to be able to at least action towards that. And it's a goal of his. And he's moving towards it with intent and violence and hatred. If that answers your question, I'm not too sure, Victor, but I've tried my best on that one, buddy. Daniel, hey. Daniel says the date was the 3rd of the 4th, 22. The video came out 2 years ago. I pray it's not a prediction. Whoa. Right. I might have reacted to that video. I'm going to look that up, Daniel. Please remind me on Instagram or something, buddy. Bremner's Ghost, thank you for the donation, brother, and I appreciate you being from England with the pound sign. It's either England or it's Gibraltar, one of the two. Thank you, buddy, I appreciate that. You say, grew up with the 4-minute warning. Where I live is a prime target for a nuke. Less worried about dying in a flash than conventional World War III. Yeah, I guess, I mean, if there is any pros from it, if there is any pros that you can take from it, it's not even a pro, but I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, Bremner. Yeah, it's a. I can't believe we're even talking about this. Do you know what I mean? Whereabouts did you grow up, by the way? Grew up with the 4-minute warning. I'd be interested to know where you grew up then. That's interesting and tragic at the same time. Old Man Jenkins again, thank you. You say one misguided missile into NATO territory and it will escalate. I am still curious how long the around 15,000 plus troops in Transnistria sit idle. Maybe they're not as idle as you think. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they're not as idle as you think. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. One misguided missile, you know, it's action and it's NATO's way into this, which leaves room for, hear me out here, different groups of people. Maybe we're going to see rebel groups acting as as Russians in certain areas, just to kind of get traction on action in NATO. Maybe we might see something. Maybe we might see a bit of a decoy thing going on here to get NATO involved indirectly. Do you know where I'm going with that? I'm not articulating myself as I should, but do you know what I mean? Right, let's get through a few more of these articles in a few moments. I need to answer a few more questions from you wonderful people. Troy McCollister. US doing training exercise in China Sea next to Taiwan as a different, in my opinion. Yeah. Well, the US always do train missions in and around that area, protecting the China, the seas in that region. They've got quite an influence over there. They've got, you know, the ownership, so to speak, and protection of certain islands in and around that region. They do more good than bad over there. So, yeah, the US are ready to strike pretty much anywhere in the world, aren't they? They've got an influence everywhere in that respect. But yeah, where we are with the questions. Right, who's next on that one? Thank you, Troy. I appreciate your question, buddy. Dublin Magpie says, breaking, Belarus says constitutional referendum passes revoking its non-nuclear status and paving the way for Russian nuclear weapons in the country. No. Where are you getting that information from, Dublin? Breaking, Belarus says constitutional referendum passes revoking its non-nuclear status and paving the way for Russian nuclear weapons in the country. That's definitely got to be from pressure from Russia. Russia has definitely pressured them into that. It has to be. It just goes to show Russian politics is potentially corrupting neighbouring countries, and it's a bullying tactic because, let's face it, they would absolutely demolish Belarus militarily, right? So there's stuff going on here behind the scenes, guys. I mean, that just seems a little bit too what's the word I'm looking for? Really? Do you know what I mean? That's just passed. Why would they revoke that? So is it going to be a launching platform, Belarus, for Russia? It's mental. Dale Kelly, hey, welcome to the Gendit Members Club, my friend. I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon, as with Chris Fritz. Welcome, guys. You're more than welcome on the channel. I look forward to speaking to you both very soon. Daryl Mulder says, thanks for keeping it real. I try my best, Daryl. I try my best. I don't always get it right. A lot of the time I do get it wrong, but I think you've got to be a man of your convictions and you've got to speak as truthfully from the heart as you can, and it's okay to be wrong on certain situations as long as your intention isn't to hurt people, and my intention isn't to hurt people with information. It's just that I like to open up the debate and learn as much as you guys, and if we can have an open debate, an honest debate about this, and just follow this, because this could go on for a long time. So I want you guys to be around here to be able to follow this. It's just a different way of watching live updates. If you're like me, don't watch the news or anything like that, then this is one way of catching up and updating yourselves, really. And it is 1:15, guys, so if you don't mind, your concurrent viewers, over 1,166 of you wonderful people at the moment, if you don't mind smashing that like button for me, I'd really appreciate that, troops. I'd really appreciate that. It only takes a second. It doesn't cost anything to do. Swipe down, press like, job done, bosh. That's how it works. But thank you, Daryl. That's very kind. Thank you, buddy. What else have we got? I can't pronounce you. I'm just going to say your surname. Here. Thank you for the kind donation. You say the lands that Russia wants also has significance in history since the leader of the Russian RUS was from the lands where that they want, and a historical significance to the modern Russian state. Yeah, talking about that, Putin is quite a traditionalist in the sense of he can't let go of the old empire. The old federation, the countries that used to pertain to it, the ones that are neutral now, that used to be under the rule. I think that really hurts him, the fact that they had more power in the past. I think he wants that. All right, it's a bit like Britain seeking to have ownership of the areas that we had during the British Empire, such as we want India back, let's go and do this. We want China back, let's do this. We want these areas back. It's crazy to think. It's immoral to think that way and to try and act upon it. That's the crazy thing. But he's a bit crazy, isn't he? He obviously wants it back. He wants it to be like it used to be. But it can't be for all of the reasons it fell in the first place, you know? But yeah, thank you for that. Bullpup33 says, did I hear right? Germany is also sending howitzers. I wouldn't be surprised. But I would be surprised at the same time, and the fact that aren't Germany heavily reliant on Russia for their gas? Aren't they heavily reliant on Russia for their gas, which would severely affect their infrastructure and their systems working if that was to stop, you know? God's Reaper, welcome to the Members Club, my friend. I appreciate you coming to the channel, and welcome to the club, buddy. It's fantastic to have you all here. If we've got the members still in the chat, drop a comment and let me know where you're actually watching from, so I can get a bit of an understanding geographically where you're coming from. Members assemble. GH, welcome to the Members Club. I appreciate you, friend. I look forward to speaking to you. For the members as well, I will be posting something after this with a question. I'm already trying to think of the question in my head based on the consensus of the chat tonight, or one that's going to get the discussion going. My aim for that members only post is to get you guys interacting with each other as well, all right? Because what I don't want to have is members everywhere. I want you guys to be, you know, part of the community and interacting with each other and creating topics of debate, you know. I think that would be pretty cool. But let's get back into the map here. Let's refresh this actually and see what's going on. Right, so we've got this region here. Satellite images from Max are showing long line of Russian units on a road outside of Peribisks in Kiev, outblast 70 kilometers north of Kiev. Wow, let's have a look at this. What's happening here? Satellite images. Wow, them pictures are not great. Right, okay, that's a big old convoy right there. I mean, for being a satellite photo, that is pretty impressive still, to be fair. Yeah. So does that mean Kiev is really, really, I mean, this was 2 hours ago. So Kiev is, I mean, the threat there is imminent, really, isn't it, in that respect? If that is the case. A flower grown gamer says, wish I could give more. Love the content, brother. Hey, please don't ever go outside of your realms of what you can. It's not necessary at all, so please don't worry. Just thanks for being here, flow grown gamer. I appreciate that. So yeah, what we got in this bit. So Belarus missile ruins historical buildings in Chernobyl. According to UNIAN news agency, it was an Iskander ballistic missile system that was fired from Belarus and hit the 1939 building in central Chernihiv, a regional capital, 150 kilometers. Wow. That's disgusting, right, guys? So the missiles are coming in thick and fast from... That's terrible. Wow. Actually, what I'm gonna go, so we're on the live map now. Let's go over to this. Where is it? I think this was it. No, it's not that. let me see if I can find this, guys. Right, so let me see if I can find this article. There was an article that I was reading. It was a report on the situation in the Ukraine. Let me see if I can find this feature. It was a world report, I think. Let me see if I can find it. It was quite interesting. I was reading it the other day. Today, sorry, and it was talking about the casualties and stuff like that. Right, let's find this Ukraine-Russia report. Right, I'm just reading through this, guys. Let's see if this is it. Right, let's see if this is what I'm actually looking for. We've got a few more members coming in as well, guys. Thank you for your membership. I appreciate you guys. We've got Spirit of the Net and Chaos187. Welcome to the Gendit Members Club, guys. Thank you for that. So what does this say? Global Conflict Tracker. Last updated February 25th, 2022. Wow, so that's interesting. This is the impact on US interests is critical. Conflict status is worsening. And the type of conflict, according to the Council for Foreign Relations, it's a territorial dispute. That's really interesting, actually, the terminology. And terminology is everything in this, guys. We need to understand that the terminology in this is everything. Territorial dispute. Now think about that for a second. That's been politically challenged as a territorial dispute, which in many ways it's seen as that. But when there's people losing lives over territorial disputes, and the people who are territorial disputing is politicians, effectively, heads of state, I think we need to be a little bit more harsh with our terminologies, because territorial disputes sounds like, two guys fighting over a brick wall in the garden and wanting it to be pushed further right or pushed further left. That's the state of the world at the moment, really, isn't it? And we're using terminologies that don't really give us the true kind of feel for what's going on. So it says more than 50,000 estimated number of casualties in the Ukraine, 1.5 million internally displaced persons, 250 miles is the length of the actual front line. So a front line of 250 miles. 280 miles rather. Okay, so let's actually just read a bit of this. Recent developments. The armed conflict in Ukraine first erupted in early 2014 and quickly transitioned to a long stalemate, with regular shelling and skirmishes occurring along the front line that separates Russian and Ukrainian-controlled border regions in the east, since Russia launched a full-scale military invasion into Ukraine on February 24th, 2022. Fighting has caused over 100 civilian casualties and pushed tens of thousands of Ukrainians to flee to neighbouring countries, including Poland and NATO country, where US troops are preparing to offer assistance. Poland's going to be under such stress at the moment. Poland's a beautiful place as well. I went to Poland not so long ago, and it's a beautiful place. The people are beautiful. It's going to put a lot of stress on them at the moment, that's for sure. It says in October 2021, Russia began moving troops and military equipment near its border with Ukraine, reigniting concerns over a political invasion. Commercial satellite imagery, social media posts, and publicity released intelligence from November and December 2021 showed armor, missiles, and other heavy weaponry moving towards Ukraine with no official explanation. By December, more than 100,000 Russian troops were in place near the Russian-Ukraine border, and US intelligence officials warned that Russia may be planning an invasion for early 2022. In mid-December 21, Russia's foreign ministry issued a set of demands calling for the US and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, otherwise known as NATO, to cease any military activities in Eastern Europe and Central Asia, to commit against further NATO expansion towards Russia, and to prevent Ukraine from joining NATO in the future. The United States and other NATO allies rejected these demands and warned Russia they would impose severe economic sanctions if Russia invaded Ukraine. The United States sent additional military assistance to the Ukraine, including ammunition, small arms, and other defensive weaponry. You know, the US intelligence was spot on with this. The US intelligence was absolutely spot on, and this was being spoken about a long time ago. This was spoken about for a long time, and we didn't buy into it. I don't know if that was because of the obvious pandemic that we were going through and stuff like that. We'll read a little bit more of that article in a few moments, guys. I want to get back to this map to see what's going on. We haven't covered much of this of recent, so we've covered that. Belarus missile runs, yeah, we've seen that there. Tragic. What have we got here? A Russian armoured vehicle reportedly fell into a river. Right, so a Russian armoured vehicle reportedly fell into a river. And then it's got a picture which looks like it's been taken off an iPhone off 2,000 years ago. Yeah, okay. So we can't take that for anything. What's going on here? Russian vehicles burned in car crate. Right, what's happening here? Let's listen to this.
Харькове не сильно рады русским.
Wow, Russian vehicles burnt. So this is the thing. The Ukrainians are actually doing all right to stand these guys off. But the question that I want to know is, the answer that I want to know is what caused these vehicles to be on fire? Was it as a result of Ukrainians doing what they should have done, or the Russians retreating or something? What's happened there? There's actually quite a bit of... What's this? Missile strike threat in that area as well. That was 6 hours ago, and the vehicles was 6 hours ago. Maybe that's linked. If we look there, there's an airport there as well. Right, so the missile strike, actually, hang on, what's happened here? Loud explosion reported from the area of the airport in that area. So that was 2 hours ago. So, right, we're just talking about the airport. The fact that this here, Russian vehicles burnt, there's an actual threat, a missile strike threat, and then this has actually happened. Yeah, stuff's going down, man. 2 seconds, I need to check something on my phone, actually, guys. Let me check something. That's interesting. Loud explosion. What's that area? Kharkiv. Right, okay. That's interesting. I'm actually just watching myself on the screen there. That's weird. What else have we got? So that region there, obviously, there's threats of, or there's intelligence of a loud explosion reported from that area. What's going on here? Local outlets report that aerial strike on the bridge of Oskil River. Right, let's see. There's some footage of this as well. Armed forces over Ukraine recaptured Volokova in that region. The deputy head of Ukraine's president office claims. Right, so there's been a reported that Russian Air Force carried out airstrikes targeting a bridge. Why would they be targeting a bridge though? And that's the prohibit the movement of the Ukrainians. But surely that would be the other way around. What's this?
Опять летит. Опять летит.
Ooh, big bombs. That's mental. Right, so we got stuff going on there. Let's see what's going on. Wow, this is a big update, this, guys. This has just came in. Norway has announced the shipment of military equipment to Ukraine for defense against the Russian invasion. So Norway is getting involved. Wow. Let's see if there's anything going on in that region. Norway's been involved. Well, the Marines are actually, you know, the Royal Marines do a lot of training in Norway. What's this? Is this that? Norway announced the shipment of military equipment to Ukraine for defense against Russian invasion. Do you see what's happening here? I can see what's going on here. There's areas getting involved in Europe in little ways. This is how it happens. It's a good thing, but at the same time, the more countries that get involved, it kind of it shows more promise for a potentially bigger war, if that makes sense. It's just scary as hell. Norway's getting involved. Looks like Sweden's getting involved as well. What's Sweden? Sweden just announced it will deliver 5,000. Right, so someone mentioned that. Someone actually mentioned, yeah, John, someone mentioned Sweden just announced it will deliver 5,000 anti-armor rocket launchers, 5,000 body armor kits, 5,000 helmets, and 135,000 field rations to the Ukrainian armed forces. That is an amazing support from Sweden and Norway. Good on these guys. I've covered Sweden military an awful lot on the channel, guys, and these people are amazing. All right, I love that military. They're a fantastic bunch of people, honestly, and they're doing their bit big time. Fair play to them. Hey, Trey McAllister, thank you for that. Trey McAllister says this is bad. Yeah, it's escalating. It is escalating. That's what I'm saying. It's good, but at the same time, it's like, really, this is bad, troops. Okay. Hey, it's after midnight now. Anyway, so guys, a little bit of admin. If you've just joined the live stream, please smash that like button. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes whilst we're on the stream. It costs you nothing. It takes 2 seconds to do. It takes 1 second really. Just hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And actually, here's another request that I haven't asked of you yet. If you share this stream, let's see how many people we can get on this stream tonight. Let's see if we can get 2,000 people on. Yeah, but yeah, troops, if you've just joined me, by the way, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you all very, 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 very much. So Sweden's involved now. Direct involvement. How Russia want to take that is up to them. But effectively, by them doing that, Russia might not take that very kindly at all. They're involved. It's as simple as that. Right, what's going on in this area? Copenhagen. What's happened here? Denmark says we'll let volunteers join foreign brigade in Ukraine. Right, so this foreign brigade thing is a bigger deal than I actually initially thought. It's happening. The Guardian newspaper, Britain is considering banning Russian ships from its ports. Yeah, do it. Do it. Why have we waited that long? Mike Farino, thank you for the donation, brother. I really do appreciate that. If you want to start asking me questions, make sure you ask a question on that super chat. Yeah, the super chat's the way to do that. But make sure you get a question in, buddy. It would be nice to speak to you. Johnson, Putin seeking to right. What's going on with this? Boris Johnson's obviously. Putin seeks to divert attention by putting nuclear deterrence on alert. What does he mean by that? That's 4 hours ago. The French Foreign Ministry calls on all its nationals to leave Russia immediately. Come on, France, you've missed the boat there. I know you've missed the boat a few times with things, but 4 hours ago you've decided, yeah, let's ask all its nationals to leave Russia immediately. It's kind of a war going on. They've kind of invaded a country. They maybe should have utilised the intelligence that was coming out of America a few weeks ago, like most countries did, and got their nationals out. Now's the wrong time. I think they're getting too late to the party on that one, if I'm honest with you. A little too late to the party on that. What's Belgium got to say? Russia war on Ukraine has displaced over 7 million people. That's an incredible amount of people. Where else? Oh, we got these regions. That's a bit of news coming in. Where's this region? Where is this? This is Germany, right? Is that Germany? Yeah, near Strasbourg. Right, Interior Minister Michael Stubgen sees Brandenburg in a position to take in refugees from Ukraine. Yeah, the amount of people displaced from this is no one's business. It's horrific, guys. All right, the amount of refugees through this crisis. Just imagine you now being taken out of your home, forced out of that region, and displaced. I can't imagine how that feels. I'm thankful, right, that I've got a camper van. It sounds ridiculous, but the fact that I've got a camper van means I've got a contingency plan if anything were to happen. We can at least live in that van. We can actually live in there, you know. Everyone get camper vans, guys. It's the way forward, trust me. The Interior Minister says despite scarce funds, around 10,000 places will be made available very quickly. Well, that's good that the Interior Minister, Michael, has done that in that region. And it shouldn't be about money in that respect. It should be about, well, actually, people come before that. Let's make room. There's plenty of empty buildings everywhere to do this. So that's what we should be doing, guys. We should be allowing for these refugees, unfortunately, to be able to stay in our countries. What's your thoughts on that, guys, actually, with refugees? Would you be welcoming them into your country? Would you be happy for that to happen, the people who've been displaced? Ukraine reports damage to 2 nuclear facilities. IAEA. What's this? I wish there was a bit more information on that. That's coming out of Austria, right? Yeah. Why are they reporting on that in that way? Ukraine reports damage to 2 nuclear facilities. We'll have a look at that. Slovakia announces temporary residency, including free healthcare and permission to work for all Ukraine refugees. That's fantastic, Slovakia. We need more of that. We need more of that. Polish border guard. Already 213,000 people entered Poland from war-affected Ukraine. 213,000 people have already entered Poland. Officers not only carry out border checks, but also help the people fleeing as much as they can. Yeah, they have to do it. I think there's a video on this as well. Let's watch this video. Right, so that... let me look this again. This looks... I'm not going to say it is staged, but it looks kind of staged, that, doesn't it? I'm not saying it is, but it does look a bit staged. There's no one else around, then a load of group of people just suddenly start walking I don't know, guys. That looks weird. That it does look weird. We've got a few more super chats coming through now, guys. So let's divert our attention slightly. The questions tonight have been really great, by the way, guys. So thank you for that. Right, where is that? So Christian Angel, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. You say, what are your thoughts on the Ghost of Kiev and the guy who sacrificed himself blowing up the bridge? I think the Ghost of Kiev is probably going to be made into a film. That's what I think. I think in however many years' time, I think that will be in the movies. It'll be folklore. You can definitely see that in 10, 20 years' time, right? The Ghost of Kiev. Fantastic. I mean, he's doing his job. A scary job indeed, but they're doing a fantastic job and one that we should admire. I think he's a legend. I don't know about the one who sacrificed himself. If you can give me a little bit more information on that, Christian, and enlighten me. I haven't heard of that. Whoa, we've got them big old dono super chat from Philo. You say, thoughts on possible regime change in Russia via sanctions? They're so financially screwed, I just wonder, and I'm hopeful, if that's the outcome here regardless. Keep up the great work, love the channel. Well, first and foremost, thank you very much for that very kind super chat and great question. I appreciate that greatly, my friend. Thoughts on possible regime change? I think it'll take a lot to change the regime in Russia. I do think that would require a massive loss of life, actually. I don't think that's going to come about with politics, and I don't think that's going to come about with, talking. I think these changes unfortunately come around with devastation. And in mentioning that, I don't think I'd be too happy with devastation to occur for regime to take place, a regime change to take place. I'd rather just it carry on if it meant that it was going to be more peaceful as a result. I don't think we need devastation to create regime change. Do you know what I mean? It's just two bads don't make a right. I don't know. I'd ask your opinion on that, Philo. I'm going to fire that question back to you, actually. What's your thoughts on a possible regime change in Russia via sanctions? Sanctions work to a degree. They work really well but only to a degree. When World War III kicks off, is a sanction going to work as effectively as you'd like it to? The world's changed then already, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's a great question, though, Philo. I'm firing it back to you, actually, brother. Chaos187, thank you again, brother. And you say the Ukrainian people and even the Russian people are not our enemies. Most of the Russian soldiers have been lied to by their own government. Yeah, and I believe we're going to get a lot of Russians actually coming in and waking up to this. And I think that change will happen when they're actually across the border on the front line. That's when we're going to see that real change, aren't we? That's when that's going to come to place, so to speak. And yeah, war changes people. War changes people. Even those who are doing it for the right reasons don't want to be there most of the time. They think, what the hell am I doing here? So I do think the Russians are going to be thinking, why are we doing this? Because they're not going to want to kill innocent people. And they're going to wake up when they go across the borders and on the front line. If they're degraded by a regime and they're degraded by the war, they're going to wake up, aren't they, sooner or later? Or you'd like to think so. I would like to think so. But yeah. Good questions here, guys. Keep them coming. Have I caught up with these questions yet, have I? There was one more, I'm pretty sure. Zachary says, thank you for the super chat, Zachary. I appreciate that, brother. Zachary says, as a veteran of the United States Army, do you think NATO countries should allow an allotted amount of active duty service members to suspend their contracts if they wanted to go join in the foreign unit in Ukraine. First and foremost, as always, with any veteran, Zachary, I just want to thank you for your service, brother, and I appreciate you being on the channel. I've got a lot of time and respect for those that have came before me and served their country, especially the United States. I've got a close place in my heart for you guys because we work so close together. Both in a training capacity and an operational capacity. So congratulations on your service, my friend, and welcome to the channel. Let me just digest your question a little bit more. It's quite a lengthy one, that. So do I think NATO countries should allow an allotted amount of active duty service members to suspend their contracts if they wanted to go join in the foreign unit in Ukraine? That's really interesting. Well, let's just look at it this way. If you're not part of the military, the countries that have allowed their citizens to go and join, the legion in the Ukraine, the foreign legion equivalent, so to speak, it's available for them. It's a conflict of interests for active duty members to do that simply because they are pertained to the military, and it would be indirectly supporting via military means, whereas they can get around that justification of sending troops if they could send. I mean, imagine if the United Kingdom, which they've already said they're going to happily allow them to do, if 100,000 volunteers suddenly joined from Britain to the Ukraine, most of those guys, I think, would actually be former service personnel in the first place. So a lot of them would be trained. I know there'd be a lot of guys who've left the Marines, Parachute Regiment, the Rifles, you name it, who'd be like, yeah, I'm after a bit of this, I'll go join. So a lot of them are going to be trained. So they can get a similar effect without actually sending trained ranks. Does that make sense? Without actually sending active duty. So good question, but I don't think they would need to allow an allotted amount of active duty service members. Does that make sense? That's a good question, that, Zachary, and thank you for that, buddy. I really do appreciate that and your service, my friend. But yeah, what else have we got? Yeah, we've caught up on that actually, guys. So what time are we on now? Well, actually, we're past 1:45. So troops, if you could, if you're brand new to this channel, please like the content, smash that like button. It really does take 2 seconds to do, and I'd really appreciate that. If we can get the likes up to nearly 2,000, that would be very, very much appreciated. I just want to thank everyone so far for all of the fantastic questions that you've been asking me via the super chat. I really do appreciate that also. Again, this is me doing my job actually, so I do take it quite seriously, and I appreciate you guys helping me along this venture on YouTube. It's definitely appreciated. Everyone who's donated so far, you guys are very, very much appreciated and welcome here. Thank you. But anyway, let's have a look at some of this stuff. What's going on? Right, I was looking at Reddit earlier and didn't see much on. Actually, I didn't see much on Reddit. I need to look at a few other threads actually. Right, so we've just seen that one, the Polish border guards. Already 213,000 people entered Poland from war-affected Ukraine. That's crazy. What's going on here though? Air raid sirens repeatedly sounding last hours in many cities across Ukraine. Still no strikes. 7 hours ago though. Volnokova is on the verge of a humanitarian catastrophe. Yeah, we've seen that earlier. Look at those images there. That's the south again. What we got going on here? We got active fighting going on here. Zelensky office confirms Russian troops have taken Berdansk home to naval base on the Azov Sea. key point of the bridge to Crimea. Yeah, that's not surprising though, because of Crimea and the region thereof. Large rocket attack reported outside of Kharkova and Kherson region of Ukraine. Right, so there's a rocket attack going on here. What's going on here?
Тихонько. Ну то что эти... Так, тихо!
We can't look at that. Actually, we can. Not Britain, it was 3 hours ago. Yeah, cheers. Yeah. What's going on there? A group of unarmed civilians stopped Russian tanks in that region. A group of unarmed civilians. Right, they've been very, very lucky there. We've seen the video of where the Russian tank was trying to run over. Well, actually did run over a vehicle with a human in there. Which is, you can't even begin to imagine how terrifying that must be. And then when they ran over them, they then went back. Blows my mind, guys. These guys have got balls of steel. It states this is why Russian invaders already lost. A group of unarmed civilians stopped Russian tanks within that region. The tank man is the city's mayor who convinced the invaders to turn around. Seriously, these people are hard as hell. These people are hard as hell. Wonder why that tank turned around. That doesn't make much sense to me. Because the group didn't really deter him, really. Let's face it, that tank was quite far away anyway, and it just, I don't know. Something doesn't make sense with that one. Grad launched towards Mariupol this evening, filmed by Russian propagandists. You ever seen that? Destroyed Russian equipment near that area. Let's have a look at this, guys. Let's have a look at this. Right, so what I want to know is how's that being destroyed and where are the people that's destroyed that? We are seeing a lot of actual Russian equipment being destroyed, whether that's because they're using old equipment and stuff like that. I'm not too sure, guys, to be fair. Is it? I want to know why that is. There's got to be a reason. I think some of the equipment that the Russians have, some of it's quite advanced, but some of it's really not as well. Do you understand? Some of it's actually quite old and archaic in that respect. I don't know. I don't know what to believe with some of these posts, to be fair. We got some questions coming in, actually. Sorry, guys. Hey, Greg Utan Amar. Thank you for the 50 sec, my friend. I appreciate that, brother. And your question is, or your statement rather, I saw interrogations of Russian soldiers who are recruits, most 20 to 30, and apparently they are being told that they are being sent on a military exercise. You are kidding me. I wouldn't be surprised. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, troops. Seriously. That wouldn't surprise me. Especially with the regime in Russia, how it is at this moment in time, and what it stands for. That wouldn't surprise me at all, you know. Bennett Joseph says Russian people should bring back the royals. Why? Why, Bennett? Why should they bring back the royals? I don't know why. What do you mean by that? Why? What's your reason? Why should they bring that the royals? Troops, if you want to be actually 2 seconds, guys. Yeah, if you want to become a member of the channel, the link is actually in the description. And it is actually linked into this chat just at the top, so that's the easiest way of you guys becoming a member of the channel and joining the club, so to speak. And we're trying to grow our community a little bit, so if you want to become a member, support the channel, and also just have a place to hang out virtually, we are living in the virtual world at this moment in time, then you're more than welcome to do so, guys. And the real Slim Shadys came in, and he says, "Thank you. First and foremost, thank you for that. I really do appreciate that, brother." And the real Slim Shady, that's a great name, man. Says, "Hey, brother, much love from the United States. Active Navy here. Been watching a lot of Ukraine videos lately. Really enjoying the live news streams. Hope this becomes a common thing." It is going to become a common thing. And actually, guys, while we're on that, we're nearly at the 1 o'clock point anyway, so I'm going to give a bit of context in what we're actually going to be doing with this. We're currently going to try and grow and build the stream into more of a military news type format, so it's going to be a lot more interactive, and it's going to look a lot better than what it is in its current format. Although it works and I like it, it's cool, we're going to actually start building it out and doing a lot more of this, because I actually enjoy it. And we're going to be covering topics all over the world, not just Ukraine, but I've got a feeling that this is going to be going on quite a while, guys, so we might as well get amongst it at the beginning and continue all the way through, so you guys can come on that journey with us as well. But yeah, thanks for that, Slim Shady, and thank you for your service, brother. US Active Navy here. I worked with you guys on various different taskings during my time in the Royal Marines, mainly with the US Marines, but I did meet you guys on occasion, and you do a fantastic job, man, keeping your country safe and secure. The people don't realise a lot of the brownie points goes to people like the Marines and the Rangers and Green Berets and all of them, and you know it, but when push comes to shove, most wars are won via the Navy. How good is your Navy? Because you can't launch air support globally unless you've got a Navy, a good Navy. You can't launch soldiers unless you've got a good Navy, and all of that comes with it. So the actual Navy of a country is more important than you'd think, and there's a reason why most countries' oldest service is the Navy. All right, the senior service in Great Britain is the Royal Navy for all the right reasons, guys. Okay. So yeah, thank you for your service, brother, and I appreciate that. And yeah, share the video, buddy, so you can get some more active duty military personnel. That would be great. Hey, veteran Hoffman, welcome to the Gendered Members Club, brother, and thank you for your service. And I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon, guys. What we're going to be doing after this is posting something via the community tab for the members. So if you want to become a member and interact with those posts, it would be good to have you on board, and it's an opportunity for you guys to interact with each other, meet each other, and have a good old chat about current affairs. If that's your thing, it's my thing. It seems to be a lot of people's things on here. So yeah, I'd appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Well, let's get back into this video anyway. Right, so what was happening here? So destroyed Russian equipment. No, it looks like it's been deserted other than destroyed, to be fair. That's what I'm taking from that. Oh yeah, and one more thing, troops, if you smash that like button, if we can get to 2,000 likes, I'd really appreciate it. Just literally scroll down, smash that like button. Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's get that 2,000 likes in the chat, and just double check if you've actually subscribed to the channel as well. What's going on there? Have we covered that? Yes, we have. What's going on here? Saboteurs shot in that route. Right, what's going on here? Whoa, what's happening here? Right, so that's... Right, we're not going to go into that. So that's pretty central as well. Well, east side, yeah. Air raid sirens repeatedly sounding in last hours in many cities across Ukraine. Still no strikes. Let's refresh this. I'm going to refresh this. I want to see what's going on. Minutes ago, the G7 foreign minister were joined today to discuss the global response to Russia's premeditated, unprovoked and unjustified attack on the Ukraine, according to State Department. Wow. Crazy times, troops, crazy times. I've got a few questions to answer. Where is this? Where is your question? There you are, Christian Barragan. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. And your question or statement is, with all that's happened in Ukraine, do you think China is keeping an eye on the West to gauge a reaction in case they want to take Taiwan? We've talked about this a little bit today. A fantastic question, actually, and thanks for asking that. We've hit onto this a little bit today, and this is my take on it. I definitely think China is keeping a close eye on the West, and they are really, really going to use this as a gauge, because I do think they want to take Taiwan. I'm not sure if they're working together on this, but I definitely think they're utilising the fact that Russia is invading Ukraine is not a smokescreen because it's happening, but utilising this and taking advantage of it almost. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I think Taiwan, just based off how everything else is going, it almost has to happen, if that makes sense. It just seems like it will happen. So I'm going to be covering Taiwan tomorrow, actually. I don't know too much on the situation, but I think China will capitalize on this situation, and they'll get in sooner rather than later. But I do think they'd probably wait until NATO got involved in that region, so the resources were heavily aimed at stopping the Ukrainian crisis getting worse, just so it can hinder the response in Taiwan. Whereas if they went into Taiwan now, maybe other countries would have to get involved in that region. So I think tactically speaking, they'd probably wait until something else happens, or at least the Ukrainian crisis results in NATO being involved. That's what I think anyway, but I could be wrong. That's a good question, that, Christian. But yeah, thanks for that question. I appreciate that, brother. What else we got in the chat? We got another one by Jerry Works. Thank you for that massive super chat. I appreciate that, buddy. You say the United States, U.S. Army retired. Well, thank you for your service, brother. 1978 through to 1993. Wow, that is a massive, massive service. I salute you, brother. Thank you for your committed service. Wow. You guys paved the way for the likes of me and all the younger generations. So I've got a lot of respect for the guys who came before me. So thank you. And you also said, thanks to all that served before me and grateful to those who stood guard after me. Right back at you, brother. And I stand here very, very proud to be speaking to people like you, because I generally look up to people like you even to this day. It makes me slightly emotional inside in a good way, and I'm proud to be part of a one big global club where, unfortunately, we part of the military is a good and a bad thing. Really, it's good because of the pride factor and the mates that you have and the friends and everything and the experiences, because there's a lot of good ones, but people like yourself, there's obviously been a lot of you've probably seen a lot of stuff, and I respect your resilience. Yeah, thank you for that, Jerry. I appreciate that, and welcome to the channel, brother. What else have we got here? We've got super chat from Donald Ranter. Thank you, my friend. And you say, this war reminds me a bit of the Winter War between Finland and the Soviet Union, doesn't it? I'll be honest with you, I did a video, I think, on the Winter War a long time ago. It didn't end too well, but I see where you're going with that, with the link, and yeah, I see where you're going with that. If you want to elaborate on that for the viewers, then feel free to do that, mate. I'd appreciate that. Hey, Mike Farino, thank you very much for that kind donation. Super chat. You say Western nations can't afford to let Taiwan fall because of TSMC, where a significant portion of computer chips are made. Western nations would be crippled if they were to take Taiwan as a result. Wow, let me digest that. Western nations can't afford to let Taiwan fall because of TSMC, where a significant portion of computer chips are made. Right, so when we're talking about technology, and we're talking about things that are instrumental for that technology to exist, we will see countries who are reliant on that technology jump higher than you've ever seen. Car chips, for an example, for the electric cars, they just don't work without them. That's a very good point you made there, Mike. I would be interested to see how. So do you think the response in Taiwan would be greater than the response in Ukraine? Let me know your thoughts, Mike, below, or anyone else wants to add to that. Let me know your thoughts. That's a question to you all. Do you think the response to Taiwan would be greater than the response we're seeing in the Ukraine? Do you think the response would be greater in Taiwan than what we've seen in the Ukraine? Thank you, Mike. Great question, buddy. John Redcorn says, don't believe anything the media says. Whatever they say, it's a good policy to believe the opposite. They love war. Well, I do agree with you on that. I do think that's the whole war thing. The reason it's never going to stop is because it works, and it works for the reasons that they want it to work for. It generates money. It generates change, be it a lot of heartache is involved. But yeah, it's corrupt, man. It's corrupt beyond our wildest dreams. Thanks for that, John. And Chaos187 again, thank you for the super chat. And you say, don't forget America has the Space Force. We can just down every satellite a country has and effectively blind them. Yeah, but it just depends on how effective the Space Force is. Does that make sense? If it's wow, and how many? I've just looked at something there. We've got 1,918 likes, 1,919 likes. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes in the next couple of minutes, guys. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes in the next couple of minutes. Just swipe down, smash that like button, and let's get it, troops, because the likes do help this video to reach a greater audience. So if you could do that for me now, I'd super appreciate that. 1,961. We're nearly there. 39 away, guys. Let's go. There's got to be a few others. We're nearly there. 23 likes. Let's go. Let's get these likes on board. Let's hit the 2,000 likes, and then we can crack on. Let's go. There we go. 1991. We've got 9 more to go. Let's hit that 2,000 button, guys. 2002. Whew, what a year 2002 was. I was 13 at the time. And yeah, more time, man. We're getting old now, guys. We're getting old. Right, so we got James Foster with the super chat question. Prior service, US Army 82nd 3505, 1998 2005, airborne and ranger qualified. Well, I respect the airborne warriors, and the fact that you were ranger qualified shows that you had a little bit extra about you, buddy. So I commend you for being a paratrooper anyway. Airborne is not easy, and we spoke about that earlier. And ranger qualification is tough. I did a reaction on the ranger qualification. You guys are insane. But you having the experience in the airborne will have definitely given you that extra bit of grit and determination and guile to get through it. So thank you for your service, my friend. And 2005 is actually when I first joined the Royal Marines, when I was a young whippersnapper. So quite a prominent year for me. Thank you for your service, buddy, and thank you. Welcome to the channel. If you want to become a member, James, press the join button, buddy. It'd be good to have you on board the team. Yeah, but let's change this pre-live a little bit. So, how long have we been on for now? We've been on for, where's the time on my web? Where's the time on this gone? How long have we been on for? I can't actually find where we've been on since 10 past 11, 10 past, well, I've been on actually 2 hours. 2 hours right now. That's crazy. I think we've pretty much covered a lot of it there, guys. We've been on for 2 hours. What I'm going to do tomorrow during the day, in the afternoon, so it'll be a good 6, 7, 8 hours earlier than this one. I'm still going to do a one on the evening, but I'm going to do an afternoon one, possibly on Taiwan. I want to cover that because I think they both link in. I've got a feeling that Ukraine's going to escalate overnight, so we're going to do the Ukraine one on the evening as well. So yeah, we're going to have 2 live streams tomorrow potentially, guys, and potentially a reaction video as well. But I'll be honest with you, I'm enjoying these live streams a lot. So if I can do these live streams and it works out for me, then we're going to continue to do them. But if you do anything today, please smash that like button. Again, it really helps me out. If you want to become a member, make sure you press that join button. Those who are members, make sure you watch out the community tab, because I'm going to be posting something in that for you guys after this. And yeah, if you want to drop a comment on the video after the video has ended, the live stream has ended, then I'll try and get back to you as best as possible, guys. But unfortunately, we have a lot of news on a terrible situation, and the situation in the Ukraine is a terrible situation. So I want to end it on this note. If we can all You know, I'm not telling you to pray or anything like that. I'm non-religious personally, but if you want to have Ukraine in your thoughts tonight and pass positive vibes on via the old brain, then you know, I'd welcome that at the end of the day, because positivity breeds positivity. You can't get a negative from a positive unless you're Neil deGrasse Tyson and you can bend physics. But yeah, positivity is always good, and have the Ukraine people in mind when you go about your free day tomorrow, because I certainly will do. And freedom is something that I don't take lightly. I understand that freedom is fluid. Okay, it could be taken away at any time based on a global event, and Ukraine is merely 2,500 kilometers away from where I actually live. It's not that far away, really, guys. So this is at home. This is Europe. Okay, guys. So if you've got any last remaining super chat questions, now's your time to get them in before we head on off. In fact, we got. Oh, I thought a question just came through there. Actually, no, I've missed one. But yeah, troops. Thank you very much, and I will certainly see you guys tomorrow, wherever you're at tonight. Stay safe, and yeah, stay safe, guys. And thank you very much for stopping by. And thank you all for all of the kind donations and super chat questions. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Peace out, troops. I'll see you tomorrow.